Hello and a very warm welcome to the brand new edition of Parliament This Week, your weekly roundup of all important developments in Parliament. I'm Kriti Mishra and now let's begin the show. So Parliament's monsoon session will begin from September 14th and continue till October 1st. Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are likely to have 18 sittings each. The session will be held under strict social distancing protocols amid coronavirus pandemic. Take a look at this report.
Announcing the start of the monsoon session of Parliament, a Rajya Sabha Secretariat statement has said that the President has summoned Rajya Sabha to meet on Monday, 14th of September 2020 at New Delhi. Subject to the exigencies of business, the session is scheduled to conclude on Thursday, 1st of October 2020. The notification issued by the Lok Sabha Secretariat says that President Ramnath Kovind has called the lower house to meet on Monday, 14th of September at 9 a.m. All members will have to undergo a COVID-19 test to attend the monsoon session. Employees and staff of the Secretariat, including security personnel and media persons covering the Parliament proceedings, will also be tested. The government will seek to convert 11 ordinances into laws in the forthcoming session. These include the Salaries and Allowances of Ministers Amendment Ordinance 2020, the Salaries, Allowances and Pensions of Members of Parliament Amendment Ordinance 2020, the Epidemic Diseases Amendment Ordinance 2020, the Essential Commodities Amendment Ordinance 2020, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance 2020, the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Ordinance 2020, the Homeopathy Central Council Amendment Ordinance 2020, the Indian Medicines Central Council Amendment Ordinance 2020, the Taxation and Other Laws Relaxation of Certain Provisions Ordinance 2020, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Ordinance 2020, the Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020. Bills that are high on the government's agenda include the Companies Amendment Bill, Major Port Authorities Bill, Aircraft Amendment Bill, Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Bill, Indian Institutes of Information Technology Laws Amendment Bill, National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill, Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Amendment Bill, Persons in Destitution, Protection, Care and Rehabilitation Bill, and Manual Scavenging Amendment Bill. Seating in the chambers and galleries of both houses during the session will be the first in the history of Indian Parliament since 1952. Large display screens in the chamber of the Rajya Sabha, audio consoles in the galleries, special cables connecting the two houses for transmission of audio-visual signals, and polycarbonate sheet separating the official gallery from the chamber of the House have been installed. The budget session of Parliament was adjourned sine die on 23rd of March, 12 days ahead of the schedule due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Constitution of India mandates a maximum 6-month gap between two sessions. This is Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And moving on now, 252nd session of the Rajya Sabha will commence on Monday, the 14th of September 2020. In view of the present situation due to COVID-19 pandemic, the chairman of Rajya Sabha, M. Venkaiah Naidu, has made certain exceptions in the procedure. There will be no private members' business during the session. Here's a detailed report.
In view of the prevailing situation due to the COVID-19 pandemic, summons for the session commencing on 14th of September have been issued through email only. Unless otherwise notified, the time of sittings of the Rajya Sabha during the 252nd session will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. except on 14th of September 2020, the first day of the session when the House will meet from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. There will be no question hour and private members' business during the session. A member who wishes to raise a matter of urgent public importance on a particular day should give notice of his or her intention to the chairman after 12 noon till 8 p.m. on the previous day and should indicate in the notice a synopsis of the matter that he or she wishes to raise, justifying therein its urgency and importance. The admitted matters may be raised immediately after the laying of papers and conclusion of other business of formal nature during the first half an hour of a sitting. No member shall be allowed to make more than one submission as matter raised with permission in a week. Not more than 2 notices of a calling attention may be given by a member for one sitting. A member who initiates a calling attention notice should not take more than 7 minutes, and other members who are called by the chairman should not take more than 5 minutes each and should restrict themselves strictly to seeking clarifications on the calling attention. For special mentions, notice should be accompanied by a text of the matter to be mentioned, not exceeding 250 words. A member should not give more than 2 such notices for one sitting. In view of the present circumstances due to the COVID-19 pandemic, members are requested to submit the notices required by the rules only through the e-notices portal as far as possible to avoid physical handling of papers and visits to notice office. The existing practice of receiving notices in physical forms in the notice office will continue. Members are informed that as per established practice, notices given or transmitted by them via fax are not admissible and therefore shall not be entertained by the Secretariat. This is Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the unstarred questions will be answered by the government in the ensuing session of Parliament. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has given relaxation in notice period for giving notices of questions.
The Rajya Sabha Secretariat has informed members that they can give notices for seeking written answers to unstarred questions. This comes after it was decided that question hour will not be held during the monsoon session. For providing written answers, the ministries have been divided into 5 groups and have been allocated specific days for ministers concerned to give their replies. Ministries that are a part of Group 1 are Coal, Defence, Environment, Forests and Climate Change, Heavy Industries, Jal Shakti, Mines, MSME, Minority Affairs, Parliamentary Affairs, Road Transport and Highways, Shipping, Youth Affairs and Sports Ministry. These ministries will present their written replies on 14th, 19th, 24th and 29th of September. Group 2 comprises Finance, Ayush, Corporate Affairs, Earth Sciences, Health and Family Welfare, New and Renewable Energy, Science and Technology and Tourism Ministries. Dates allotted to these ministries for written replies are 15th, 20th, 25th and 30th September. In Group 3, Civil Aviation, Housing and Urban Affairs, Labour and Employment, Petroleum and Natural Gas, Social Justice and Empowerment and Steel Ministries have been placed. These ministries will give their written replies on September 16th, 21st, 26th and the 1st of October. Group 4 has PMO, Atomic Energy, Communications, Development of Northeastern Region, Electronics and IT, External Affairs Minister, Education, Law and Justice, Public Grievances and Pensions, Space, Statistics and Program Implementation, Textiles, Tribal Affairs, Women and Child Development. The dates assigned to these ministries are 17th, 22nd and 27th of September. Ministries that have been placed into Group 5 are Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Chemicals and Fertilizers, Commerce, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy, Food Processing, Panchayati Raj, Railways, Rural Development and Skill Development. These ministries will give their replies on 18th, 23rd and 28th of September. In the upper house, the maximum number of unstarred questions is 160. In this session, the unstarred questions will have to be submitted to the Secretariat, addressed to the Secretary General, and answers will be provided on the day the question is listed as per the ministry. However, oral or starred questions will not be allowed. With inputs from Arvind Kumar Singh, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And moving on now, Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu on Monday held extensive discussions on ensuring health safety of the members with Union Secretaries of Home, Health, Defence, Research, besides DG ICMR. Chairman Naidu raised several issues and sought clarifications from the concern on health safety and hassle-free travel of members of Rajya Sabha. After detailed discussions, Chairman Naidu noted that all members of Parliament should get tested for COVID-19 without fail in their own interest and that of fellow members as well. And the government has said that it will answer every question asked in Parliament. As the opposition and the government trade charges over question hour, an analysis shows that 60% of question hour time of Rajya Sabha was lost during last 5 years. Here's a detailed report.
As part of the analysis of various parameters concerning the functioning of Rajya Sabha, a study was undertaken by the Research Division of the Rajya Sabha Secretariat. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu called for the study earlier this year. The research showed that during 2015 to 19, only about 40% of the total available question hour time was availed in raising questions and obtaining oral responses of the government. 60% of question hour time went unused on account of disruptions. During 2015 to 19, Rajya Sabha held 332 sittings. At the rate of 1 hour for each sitting, 332 hours were available for question hour. Against these 332 hours, only 133 hours and 17 minutes were spent on raising questions and obtaining oral replies from ministers. This comes to about 40% utilization of question hour time. The breakup of time spent on question hour shows 18 hours 7 minutes during 2015, 34 hours 48 minutes in 2016, the maximum of 35 hours 13 minutes in 2017, the lowest of 14 hours 29 minutes in 2018 and 30 hours 40 minutes in 2019. This is Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu, under Rule 7 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Rajya Sabha, has fixed 14th of September 2020 as the date for holding the election to the office of Deputy Chairman. Janata Dal United MP Harivansh's term as the Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha ended on April 9th. When the term of a member ends, his term as Deputy Chairman also ends. Harivansh was elected Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha in August 2018 as NDA's candidate, beating UPA's nominee B.K. Hariprasad. And BJP leader Syed Zafar Islam was declared elected unopposed in the by-election to a vacant Rajya Sabha seat from Uttar Pradesh. Here's more.
The seat had fallen vacant due to the demise of former Samajwadi Party leader Amar Singh. Earlier, BJP Uttar Pradesh Unit General Secretary Govind Narayan Shukla withdrew his candidature, thereby clearing the way for the party's original nominee Syed Zafar Islam to be elected unopposed. On Twitter, Islam thanked the party's top leadership for giving him the opportunity to serve the nation. Zafar Islam's Rajya Sabha term will continue till 4th July 2022.
And here are all the updates of standing committees of Parliament.
The meeting focused on social security and welfare measures for interstate migrants and unorganized and informal sector workers. 12 MPs were present, including representatives of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry. Department of Consumer Affairs Secretary Leena Nandan gave a presentation. Earlier, the committee, headed by BJD MP Bhartrihari Mahatab, held meetings with the Ministry of Skill Development, Rural Development Ministry and Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry on the issue.
The panel, headed by senior Congress leader Shashi Tharoor, had called representatives of Facebook to hear their views on safeguarding citizens' rights and prevention of misuse of social online news media platforms, including special emphasis on women's security in the digital space. The panel has also called representatives of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology on the same issue. The Rajya Sabha Standing Committee on Petitions gave final shape to a crucial report on forecasting of floods in a meeting on Wednesday. The petition requesting development of real-time forecasting of floods so as to issue timely warning was sent to Rajya Sabha by Professor Raj Kachru. The committee, headed by Prasanna Acharya, also approved the action taken report on the 156th report on strengthening the POCSO Act 2012 with some amendments. The Standing Committee on Coal and Steel today discussed the issue of the environment and forest clearance process in the mining sector. Coal Secretary Anil Kumar and Secretary in the Forest Ministry R.P. Gupta gave a presentation before the ministry. Standing Committee on Petroleum and Natural Gas discussed international cooperation in the petroleum sector. The meeting of the committee, headed by Ramesh Biduri, went on for nearly 2 hours.
This was the sixth meeting of the committee headed by Jairam Ramesh to discuss the DNA bill. It was attended by 11 members and Secretary in the Department of Biotechnology and representatives of the Law and Justice Ministry. The committee is likely to give a final shape to the bill in its next meeting on 10th of September. The Standing Committee on Social Justice and Empowerment discussed the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Amendment Bill 2019. 10 members attended the meeting of the committee headed by Rama Devi. It went on for 3 hours from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Standing Committee on Energy also held a meeting to discuss the uniformity of the power tariff policy. The 2-hour-long meeting was attended by 16 members. The committee headed by Rajiv Ranjan Singh held a discussion with the representatives of the Ministries of Power and Renewable Energy and Central Public Enterprises of the power sector.
Vice President of India, M. Venkaiah Naidu, called for well-planned collective action to ensure adequate nutrition and a positive caring environment for child development in order to take full advantage of demographic dividend. Here's a detailed report.
Child development should be the foundation of our development architecture, the Vice President said while releasing the State of the Young Child in India report. The report is a comprehensive account of the challenges related to early child development in India. The report has been prepared by Mobile Creches, a policy advocacy organization that works with underprivileged children across India.
I compliment the publishers for the same. This should be the way forward for many of the publications. And second, I would also like to compliment all the people who are involved in this study during this period and then bringing together various minds and contributions together to put them in a report so that there is a meaningful discussion, dissemination, and also serious consideration by all the people concerned. That is very much required. This, in fact, should become a societal or a people's movement. इसका एक जन आंदोलन का रूप देना, कारण क्या है, ये बच्चे हमारा भविष्य है. These children are our future. So we should start taking care of them. And particularly the vulnerable sections. We must also remember our ancient philosophy of share and care and take care more of the vulnerable sections. So Mahatma Gandhi ji ne, Baba Saheb Ambedkar ji ne, Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji ne kaha, Antyodaya, uplifting the poorest of the poor, taking care of the last man in the queue, जो अंतिम पंक्ति में बैठे, उनका उत्थान पहले होना चाहिए.
Underlining the importance of ensuring healthy, happy, caring and playful early years for children for their holistic development, the Vice President said adequate nutrition and a positive, caring environment at home play an important role in a child's development. Maintaining that the children are our future, the Vice President said we should take care of them. Appreciating the report, Venkaiah Naidu said such reports help in policy formulation by developing greater understanding of the shortcomings and urgent needs of the children.
It is well known that the years from birth until the age of 5 are very critical. Adequate nutrition and positive caring environment at home play a very important role in a child's development. For healthy development, children should grow up in an environment where their emotional, social, educational and other needs are fully met. A good foundation in the early years makes a difference through adulthood and even gives the next generation a better start.
And that's all I had for you in this edition of Parliament this week. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Rajya Sabha Television.